Hey, what's going on, phone dogs? BoHD here, and last week I reviewed the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus after using it for more than 2 weeks as my daily driver. Right after we published that video, I took my SIM card out of the S9 Plus and put it into my iPhone 10 to kind of refresh my memory on the feel of this device and see just how well it compares to Samsung's newest flagship. So, as if the title wasn't a big enough indicator, we're going to be comparing the iPhone 10 up against the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. But before I get started, I want to thank Dashlane for sponsoring this video. Dashlane is a password manager application that will remember the passwords of your online accounts, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, phonedog.com, you name it. It'll save your login info and pull it up for you automatically and securely when you need it. All you have to do is remember one strong password for Dashlane, and it will remember the rest. I've been using the service for the past several months now, and there are two features that I really enjoy above everything else. First, we have auto login and autofill. Once you sign into Dashlane, either on your laptop or Android or iOS device, the app will automatically fill in your password to the apps that you want to sign into. For example, if you download Twitter for the first time and need to sign into your account, Dashlane will step in and input that info for you. The other feature that I think is pretty revolutionary for a password manager is the password generator feature. Let's say you want to create a new Reddit account instead of using the same password that you used for Twitter and Facebook and Google and so on. You can actually have Dashlane create a super secure password for you and have it remember it for you so that you don't have to input it and remember it. You can visit the link in the description to sign up for Dashlane, and you can use our code YouTube2018 to get 10% off of Dashlane's premium service, which includes features like secure account backup, sync across all of your devices, unlimited secure sharing, web access to all of your passwords, and premium customer support. Okay, now I have used both devices with and without a case. I'll link the two cases I used below. My favorite is this Pitaka MagSafe case for the iPhone 10. It's extremely tough, super thin, and it allows for wireless charging, and it even has magnets that can easily be attached to a car dock. Both of these devices feature metal frames and glass fronts and backs that will scratch easily. They both feel great in the hands and they're nice and premium, but you're probably going to want to protect your investment and throw a case on the phone you decide to get. The Galaxy S9 Plus, it does have a micro SD card slot for expandable storage. It has an iris scanner, a fingerprint scanner, headphone jack, and USB-C port, which the iPhone 10 does not have. The iPhone 10 does have Face ID, which is a state-of-the-art system for mobile phones that uses a bunch of different sensors to scan your face and unlock your phone instead of using a fingerprint scanner. The Galaxy S9 Plus has an iris scanner and face unlock, but it's not quite as reliable or secure as the iPhone's offering. In my opinion, though, it's hard to go wrong with the good old-fashioned fingerprint scanner. It's in a better place than last year's Galaxy S8 on the S9, and it's almost guaranteed to work every time you put your finger on it, whereas Face ID sometimes doesn't work and it requires you to punch in your passcode. The iPhone 10 features a 5.8-inch 2436 by 1125 OLED display, while the S9 Plus features a 6.2-inch 2960 by 1440 resolution Super AMOLED display. The bezels are extremely thin on both devices. The Galaxy S9's display is bigger and it's taller, so it's better for consuming media, but also harder to use with one hand. It does get considerably brighter than the iPhone 10's display, so viewing content outside is superior. With that said, I think the true edge-to-edge display of the iPhone 10 is especially beautiful to look at, and the size is definitely more manageable for one-handed use. The notch and lack of any software or physical navigation buttons does make things a little bit interesting in the software department. First of all, content has to be split up and cut off, so you can't see as many notifications because of this notch up top here. You also can't see your battery percentage without opening up Control Center. The notch can do some weird things with apps as content has to be shifted down to make room for the notch, but I will say developers have done a great job adapting to this hardware over the past few months. When the iPhone 10 first launched, I was not pleased in this regard, but it's a lot better now. You do navigate the phone via a series of swipes, which is not the case on the Galaxy S9 Plus. Once you get used to it, you'll find that it works well enough to not question it over standard buttons that eat up more screen real estate. On the flip side, the Galaxy S9 Plus, it runs Android and it features on-screen navigation buttons, though you can hide them if you want. Android gives you that flexibility to basically do whatever you want with this phone. There's nothing wrong with on-screen navigation buttons as they work just fine. Samsung has even thrown in a pressure-sensitive home button so you can hard press on the location where the software home button is at to go back to your home screens from anywhere you are at. Generally speaking, Android is going to offer much more customization than iOS. It also natively supports more Google services than iOS, which natively supports more Apple services than Android. If you grew up with an iPhone or Mac and are more integrated into their ecosystem, then you'll have more of an incentive to pick up the iPhone X. As someone who uses almost Google everything, it's more challenging for me to use an iPhone as my daily driver. I can make it work, but it's not quite as enjoyable. The S9 Plus is equipped with the newest Snapdragon 845 octa-core processor with 6 GB of RAM, while the iPhone X is equipped with an A11 Bionic hexa-core chip with 3 GB of RAM. The specifications certainly seem more impressive on the S9 Plus, but the iPhone X actually out-benchmarks the S9, and because it's a closed system, it tends to actually run more smoothly overall than the S9. However, I do want to say that both devices are incredibly quick and fluid, and you should not pick a device based strictly on the performance or speed, because once again, both are extremely capable and should be able to handle anything you throw at them. Both devices feature 12 megapixel camera sensors, though the S9 Plus features a sensor with an f1.5 aperture that is one of the widest around and can take in significantly more light than the iPhone X's sensor. What that means is it excels in low light photography. Night photos or indoor photos with shoddy lighting conditions, you're going to want the Galaxy S9 Plus's camera. The Galaxy device tends to capture cooler photos that are slightly overexposed, while the iPhone X tends to capture warmer, more underexposed images. Both have their pros and cons, of course. If I had to pick one though to be like in my pocket at all times, I lean toward the Galaxy S9 Plus, but I wouldn't be upset if I had either one in my pocket because both are very capable. I mean, let's be honest, it's gonna come down to subject matter and composition. Those are what really make for great photos, especially nowadays where most mid and high tier devices have the hardware necessary to capture crispy photos. The Galaxy S9 Plus, it features a 3500 milliamp hour battery, while the iPhone X features a 2716 milliamp hour battery. Pound for pound, the iPhone X offers superior battery life, but the S9 Plus's battery is larger and it offers more stamina overall. It also has a fast charging cable and wall wart included with the purchase of the device. In order to get fast charging with the iPhone X, you have to buy a separate cable and adapter. That's pretty lame. With that said, Samsung added dual stereo speakers to their Galaxy lineup with the S9, and I commend them for doing so. They are set up in the same configuration as the iPhone X, where there's a bottom-facing speaker and the top call speaker doubles as like a loudspeaker. The iPhone X seems like it's a bit louder and more punchy than the S9 Plus's speakers, but both sound very similar. So what really separates these two devices isn't that the Galaxy S9 has an expandable storage slot or that the iPhone X has some cool facial recognition technology. It's the software, iOS or Android. If you're invested in Apple or Google already, it makes more sense to go with the phone that runs the software made by the company you're already using on another device. Do I value the extra hardware features of the Galaxy S9? Sure, but I value the freedom and customizability of Android most. Just to give you a couple examples, I can set it up so that the Google Assistant will immediately start listening for a command as soon as I say, "Okay, Google." On the iPhone X, I have to open up the Google Assistant app separately because I can't override Siri with a different voice assistant. I can also do some more minor things like set it up so that my battery percentage is also showing every time my phone is powered on. I can also add a widget on my home screen for a specific function in an app. This is why I prefer the Android option over the iOS option. In this case, the Galaxy S9 Plus over the iPhone X. You may not feel that way, and I completely understand. Whatever it is that you are feeling, feel free to share it with me in a comment down below. As always, I'm BoHD from PhoneDog.com. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you right back here in the next one. See ya.